Wii U is the newest innovation for controllers in the video game industry. The sleek, upcoming controller console features an in-machine tablet to have dual-screen capabilities and will essentially act as its own handheld console when removed from linkage with your television. Innovation has taken us even to the point where we don't even need a physical controller, but our body serves as a commander to games, such as in Microsoft's Kinect technology. We either seek largely complex, like the Wii U, or the ingeniously simple, like the Kinect technology. How we control our games has always played a part in our enjoyment of them. It's important to go all the way back to the Atari 2600 in 1977. The controller on which we Donkey Konged consisted of a joystick and a button. That's it. A joystick and one button. Does anyone else still find the word joystick humorous? Just me. But the controllers that followed for the Intellivision and the Atari 5200 were weird TV controller, video game controller hybrids consisting of full numerical keyboards. Like everything else and everything else in the gaming industry, Nintendo saved us from complete controller meltdown, and the design of Nintendo's NES controller would set the precedence of modern-day video game controllers with its flat body, arrow keys, and an A and B control button. 2 additional black buttons served as pause or menu buttons, but it was enough buttons to allow for sophisticated button combos to produce varying character moves in the games. But this controller did not boast an entire numerical keyboard and therefore did not overwhelm its user. Additionally, with the original release of the NES controller came the Zapper light gun, which didn't really produce light but was pretty good at shooting ducks. The success of the NES prompted Nintendo and third-party developers of hardware to put forth a series of less successful controllers for the NES, such as the NES Advantage, which was a cumbersome, boxy piece of equipment and included a joystick-like component. Also around this time, we saw my favorite useless piece of hardware, the NES Power Glove. It looked awesome! It looked like I could use it to power me to the moon. I mean, but there were only like 2 games that supported it, and it didn't effectively track your hand movements as promised. But I mean, it could totally keep you warm on a wintry day. The next big popular controller we saw was a sleek, curved controller of the Sega Genesis, and this paved the way for many of the other modern controllers that we see now. Its curved design made it comfortable to grip and play with. It wasn't until the PlayStation that we saw another big innovation, 2 distinct pieces jutting towards the player to serve as controller handles. I mean, it makes sense that a controller would have specified areas for your hands to hold. I mean, that's what it's for. When we saw the controller for the Xbox, it was bigger and more basic in shape, but it boasted more shoulder and trigger buttons, so it was cool for gamers, but it was still a little more clunky. I mean, then we saw the Wii controller, and we used it physically like a sword, and the Kinect made us the controller. And now we're fusing controllers and iPads and tablet dual screen technology to give us the Wii U. How do you think that this one will fit into our hands? As comfortably as the NES Power Glove? Doubtful.